Zendikar Rising is here, and it is the return to Zendikar we needed. Instead of focusing on the Eldrazi, we can get back to what makes Zendikar truly special. Adventure. No, not the mechanic, that's Eldraine. But the feel of exploration. No, that's Ixalan. Quests? Okay, that is Zendikar, but not this Zendikar. You get what I'm saying. And more than anything, I'm excited for the return of allies. Wait, what? No allies? What the is wrong with them? What's party? Ain't no party without allies. This set features some really cool design and rules choices, and I thought I'd go over some of them. First up are the cards we've been waiting for since double-faced cards entered the game in 2011. Modal double-faced cards let you pick which side of the card you're going to play, rather than always starting with the primary face. Every modal double-faced card in this set is a land on its back face. This means you can play more lands in your deck, turning them into spells when you're flooding. Alternatively, you could play fewer lands and wonder why you're losing so bad. Now, 6 of these cards are also lands on the front face. These modal dual lands set a very important precedent in modern Magic design. They are non-basic lands that tap for colored mana with upside, but do not enter the battlefield tapped. It was decided that removing the basic land types from these cards would weaken them enough to allow this. This is huge and opens the floodgates on what sorts of lands could be designed going forward. So bust out your favorite card editor and start landscaping, because it's 2020, and for once, that's not a bad thing. Another long-awaited effect is the ability to copy permanent spells. We've had the ability to copy instants and sorceries forever, but of course, permanents would work differently and be more complex. As everyone expected, they simply become token copies of the permanent. What's a bit more controversial is that it was ruled that this does not count as creating tokens, which means that things like doubling effects will not work here. Now, something I did not necessarily expect to see ever again is rules text giving creatures additional creature types. That sort of thing is a relic from the days when creatures could only have one type and legend counted. On that note, let's talk about party. While I'm sad to not return to OG allies, the party mechanic is awesome. There are several reasons why. First, one of my favorite commanders of all time is Kaalia of the Vast. I never had a particular love of demons or dragons, but the fact that Kaalia is able to tie together 3 disparate tribes in such a flavorful way is amazing. She takes several things that can stand on their own, but puts them together to make something new and epic. That's what Party is doing. It takes 4 creature class types with a long history in Magic and makes them work together in a way that isn't jarring. And not only are these tribes well supported in past Magic sets, but each tribe has its own distinct draft archetype in Zendikar Rising as well. Rogues are blue-black mill, warriors are red-white equipment, wizards are blue-red spells, and clerics are white-black life gain. But it doesn't stop there. Ixalan failed as a tribal set because it stopped at creature types and draft archetypes. There was no cross-synergy between the archetypes, which resulted in horrible play patterns. But each of these tribes appears in green as well, and a 4th color to boot, meaning that no matter what color pair you're in, you can find support for 2 of these creature types in both of your colors. In addition, almost every humanoid in the set has one of these types. That's 97 cards, or 35% of the set. What makes this possible is how unobtrusive the design is. Creatures always have types, which are often irrelevant. Here, they made intentional choices to use that often irrelevant space to further their design. Maybe more sets should play around with creature types like this, rather than just having one relevant tribe per set. Now, I don't want to give a whole dissertation on this mechanic, but suffice it to say that Party is extremely well designed and I look forward to playing it. In other news, Farsight Adept continues the push for white card draw, but this time at common. Now, this isn't necessarily the card draw we're looking for in Commander, but not every card can be a hit. This is at least a serviceable limited card that illustrates WotC is still thinking about white card draw. Kicker returns in this set. It's only been a couple of years since we saw it in Dominaria, which means they needed to find a way to make it feel different. To do that, they simply changed the colors it's focused in. Dominaria had a kicker theme in red-green. Here, it's in green-blue. This is a very simple way to change up a mechanic because each color will use the mechanic in a different way. So if you're looking to bring back an old mechanic, try this method. It's a really good design choice. Another recent change to design philosophy is to use colored artifacts a bit more liberally. It's now being treated as a deciduous mechanic, which means that it can be used as often as needed, rather than being reserved to return once in a while as a special thing. Boldwyr Intimidator has a sun, which nobody asked for, but everyone appreciates. Omnath is back in 4-color, which is cool, but only makes me want 5-color Omnath now. The last thing I want to talk about here is the inscription cycle. Well, half cycle. See, there's only 3 of these cards in the set. Why? They couldn't come up with a good design for the red or white ones. This has made a lot of people very angry and widely been regarded as a bad move. Now, I get that we like symmetry. In fact, I've designed a time spiral type set based on completing past incomplete cycles. But here's the thing, do we really want the cycle complete if it means 2 of the cards aren't worth playing? I think the fact that they chose not to release 2 badly designed cards for the sake of symmetry is a good design decision. That kind of restraint is not something that gets talked about a lot in custom Magic design. Every card that you release should have a good reason for existing. Now, I would have liked if they could have designed good red and white inscriptions, but barring that, there's no good reason to put them in the set. And hey, this gives me more fodder for my set. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments about your favorite card design in Zendikar Rising. We'll be back next Thursday.